maybe not that bad, but oh my god, this. I hope you enjoyed Gourmet Guy. You know, from the chapter we just did. I hope you enjoyed Gourmet Guy. But I get the feeling that not a lot of people enjoyed Gourmet Guy that much. He was a gatekeeper. You had to go back. He made you backtrack to Toad Town to get the cake from Tasty, and then you had to cook. You have to cook the cake with the cake mix to get it added to the recipes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Are you guys ready to bake a cake from scratch? And I mean, like, every step of the way. Oh god. So, we need to sneak through the Koopa Trolls again. We want to go down here first. Oh well. I would love to do that. First, let's head over here. And here is Gourmet Guy. Who are you? Yeah. So, oh, you're Princess Peach. Everyone calls me the Gourmet Guy for some reason. I guess I'd better report you to King Bowser. You aren't supposed to leave your room, but I am really hungry. Tell you what, I'll keep this a secret if you make me something really yummy. So, Princess Peach, what do you say? Will you cook me something or what? And I like how Peach is like, I'd love to cook for you, Mr. Gourmet Guy, but I have no ingredients. Seriously? Come on now. But there is a kitchen one floor down. We can go cook there. And he's a nice enough guy to give you the key. Give you a key, you know. He really wants his food. Like, he can't be set. The cake that he got from Mario, man, it couldn't have been that long ago. That wasn't enough to satiate his insane appetite. But there's actually something interesting we could do here on this floor of the castle. Mind the flashlights, though, because they are bad. The kitchen is over there, past the door over here, but we want to go through this door because this room is interesting. Because first, we have this treasure chest. You could wait until the final chapter of the game to get this with Mario, but we don't want to do that if we don't have to. You get that last stand badge, and we open the armoire, or the cabinet, I don't know what it is, and we see there's a toad stuck in there. You know, he got caught up in the madness of the castle rising to the sky, and he got stranded alongside Peach. So, okay, apparently it's a closet. I don't think that's a closet, because closets are normally built into a house. They aren't really individual pieces of furniture. Although I might just be arguing semantics for no reason. So we got the last stand badge, and we want to go back to that special treasure chest in the room earlier, because we want to drop it off so we can pick it up with Mario later on. I'm totally not doing this just to delay baking the cake for Gourmet Guy. Totally not. Why would there be a crazy ulterior motive like that? But we also have the Power Rush badge to drop off. Power Rush isn't as strong as Mega Rush because Power Rush is +2 attack when you're at 5 HP or below. But it is useful for a setup called Danger Mario, which involves talking to a certain NPC, somehow getting your HP down to 5. Apparently you can do that. I've never done it, but apparently you can, which I think is kind of crazy. But let's wait for that Koopa Troll. That Koopa Troll is really evilly placed, I must say. So let's bake a cake, why don't we? Oh man, I don't even want to entertain the dialogue. I just want to get this over with ASAP. I'm sorry to you guys that like to read the dialogue, all of the dialogue, but I'm sure I'm not alone in this camp. When I first played this game, this section got me stumped probably for like a half hour straight. Although it's interesting, you can actually get water and detergent cleanser to put in the cake. Like, why did they even do that? And there's also salt. I would have accepted salt as a joke option for like a bakery, but cleanser and water? Like, can I seriously? You can seriously? What? And the cleanser too? Oh my god, are you serious, dude? God. Okay, so sugar and eggs. Yeah, we just put cleanser in the sugar. That's crazy. And eggs, of course. That should be correct. And now let's move on to the next step, which I believe is actually fairly tame. Okay, this section you gotta whip the ingredients in the bowl. Not that hard. You just mash the A button. I don't even think you have to mash it that fast, to be honest. I think you could like mash it at a moderate pace and you'll still be good. But with Gourmet Guy, it's better safe than sorry. Honestly with you guys. So I think it went well. Let's go on to the next step. Now, put flour and butter. Put the flour and the butter joins the bowl. Well, where did that reference come from? Oh yeah, because we are baking a cake in the kitchen. I don't know where I was going with that. Is flour and butter, right? God, man. This is throwing me off for a loop over here. Butter joins the bowl. M-I-X the flour into the bowl. God. Parappa the Rapper. It's a classic game. I don't know. The classic PlayStation game. Oh, man. God. So now here comes the tough part. And I say tough because counting time in your head isn't easy for everyone. And this is something that I've always kind of struggled with a little bit. I think I've gotten a little better with it over the years, since I can't remember the last time I failed this segment. But I would rather play it safe than sorry. So we're going to put the cake in the oven with A, and then press A again when the 30 seconds have passed. Can't redo this part, so be extra careful. Let's go ahead and do that. The timing starts, I think now, so. And we're done. Oh, man. That was a nice little breather for me. I closed my eyes and just kind of relaxed for a little while. That is the toughest part of the cake baking experience. So after that, we just put the cream and the strawberries. Yep. Cream and strawberries. Where is the cream? Here's the cream. I don't think the order matters very much. Like, you could probably put the strawberries and then the cream, and I don't know what would happen there, but hey, that is a good looking cake sprite. I will give this game that. That is a good looking cake sprite. So I technically counted the 29 before I hit the A button, since I'm not playing this with sound. I think there is actually like a few second buffer. Like maybe. It doesn't have to exactly be 30. It could probably be 1 or 2 seconds under or over. We're about to find out though. Oh god, we're about to find out. Oh my god! Thank you! Thank you! Jesus! God. And I don't have to reread that, because it's literally like the same scene from the chapter. So, there we go. Oh, that was really good! I haven't felt this way since, well, ever. To show you my gratitude, I'll tell you a secret. One of the star spirits is inside Mount LavaLava on LavaLava Island. LavaLava make you laugh. I don't know where that came from. You should tell this to Mario, but you'd better tell him that there's also a nasty lava piranha guarding the star spirit. He'd better be careful. I really don't dislike Mario. That's why I'm telling you this. And the only reason he doesn't dislike Mario is because Mario gave him a cake. It works like that. Okay? It really does work like that. This is actually some very good information to get, though. So it is appreciated. Believe me, it is. So, yeah. As usual, Twink has to be the messenger boy, the messenger kid. Twink leaves, and guess what? For some reason, Peach just gets found out. Apparently there's a lot of shouting. Oh, because of Gourmet Guy's excitement from the cake. That's right. So I mean, the developers, they were really cynical to do this cake baking section. Is it bad? Is it the worst thing ever? No. But my god, it didn't need to be here. And it's a necessary evil in every new playthrough of Paper Mario. I'm just glad to get it over with. We got over that hump. Literally a mid-game hump, because, we are 4 chapters down and there's only 4 chapters left. Phew! Fresh air! After being cooped up in there for so long, I could really use some outdoor exercise, LavaLava. Matey, my name is Muscular. Mario, I must thank ye for saving me. Now it's my turn to help ye. Behold! One of the best powers in the game right here, probably my second favorite, but I like Muscular the most because he's like a sailor, and I do like nautical and aquatic themes and all that. I also like pirates over ninjas, that's why I'm giving him a pirate accent. Our star energy goes up to 4, so you can do 2 star storms for 14 damage total, or you can do a chill out and a star storm back to back, which is a really sick combo. With chill out, you can lower the attack power of all enemies by 3. So this is what I was talking about with Anti-Guy. You can use chill out to reduce his base attack from 10 to 7 or from 12 to 9. You combine that with damage dodge or defend plus, Merlee's charms. You probably might be able to defeat him without a Repel Gel, to be honest. So this is actually a kind of an interesting Twink scene because Twink runs into the Star Spirit for the first time. Hi, I believe ye be Twink, no? You're that youngster what recently ascended from Starboard Valley up to Star Haven, shiver me timbers. Believe it or not, sadly, there isn't really much of a pirate presence in Paper Mario, but in the 1,000-Year Door, there is a whole chapter focused on pirates. I don't know if I'll ever do a Let's Play of Paper Mario the 1,000-Year Door, but if I do, that's probably going to be my favorite chapter to do a Let's Play for because of the pirate stuff, and I'm just going to go ham on it. So if I ever do that, I guess that's something you guys can look forward to. Matey, shiver me timbers. But we never have to do that again, sadly, in this playthrough because Muscular isn't going to have much more of a chance to really talk, as it were. So we're actually in a really good position because how we progress to LavaLava Island is we go to the docks, which is literally just one screen to the west. And we could do some side quests here. It's not a bad idea. But I think what I want to do is, let's see, for the later half of Chapter 5. New badges are opened up, including All or Nothing, which is something you want to buy. For 4 badge points, you get the Power Plus effect, but the caveat is that you need to successfully do the attack. If you don't successfully do the attack, it'll do 0 damage and fail. We also have access to our final HP Plus and Flower Point Plus. Not really necessary to buy now, especially because they're a little costly, but towards the end of the game, don't forget about them. We also have a bit of a letter backlog to worry about here. So let's see. Yeah, it looks like everyone got a letter because this 2 chapters of accumulation. A letter to Goombario from Goomba. You probably know how it goes. Just checking in on the adventure. Grow wise from your travels. A lot of things that an older person would say because they are much more wise and experienced than us younger people, you know. We have a letter from Coover. Huh. So Coover and Cooper are kind of friends, and Coover is jealous of Cooper for going on the adventure. He also mentions Colorado. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Colorado's wife. This is kind of funny. So Cooper's mom is referenced, and that's about it. But Colorado's wife kind of serves as a makeshift motherly figure for Cooper, which is natural when you have like a best friend and you go over there to their house a lot or vice versa. You probably become friendly with their parent or parents, the situation is. It's just a natural event for the most part. Not always. There's the letter there for doing a fireworks service. A letter to Parakarry from Frosty. Wow. So this is actually an NPC from a town late in the game, like Chapter 7. That's a nice bit of foreshadowing. A letter to Bo from the Booze and Gusty Gulch. You probably expect this is just a thank you letter. Thank you for rescuing us. That's a Spyro reference. I just referenced 2 PS1 games in one episode of Paper Mario, which is fitting because the N64 and the PS1 were part of the same generation of game consoles. Although the PlayStation upgrade, PlayStation 2 released a good bit before the GameCube, as it were. I think that's it. So let's go to Mario's house real quick, just because. Yeah, just because. So we can do our usual statistics check on Lou, see what he's up to. Where'd he go? Where is Luigi? Like, come on. Luigi, where'd you go, brother? So, apparently he was reading a letter. Hi, Mario, are you doing okay? Don't worry, bro. I'll watch the house until you get back. Apparently there's not much to report there. So let's head down, use the spin jump as usual. We have 2 more entries. Referencing the Shy Guy. Some of these are really short. So this talks about the epidemic in Shy Guy's toy box. Maybe they have a Nintendo 64. There's another reference. The whole Goomba family visited. This entry tells you about Goom Nuts and how they restore 3 flower points. This is really late to tell you about it, though. And you probably found out about it by accident anyway. And we have 3 letters. One from Goombaria. So that's a coincidence. Asking about the adventure. Messing with Goombario. She also mentioned that sometimes she will come to Toad Town with her mom for a shopping trip. And this actually does happen either after Chapter 5 or Chapter 6, if I'm not mistaken. Tasty sends you a letter after you give her the cookbook. This mentions about the egg missile, but I already took care of that with the fire flower and the egg. So that's pretty nice, but yeah. And a letter from Ralph, thanking you for the calculator situation and for shopping at his shop a lot. But I like the art here, and he also says that he's going to knock everything down 0%. What a deal. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Paper Mario. This feels like a whole new season because as of the last episode, we are now halfway through the adventure. 20 HP, 20 flower points is a nice balance to have. And in this episode, we are going to start Chapter 5, which is my favorite chapter in the game. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that if you thought Paper Mario was already an excellent game just from the first half, well, just you wait and see, because the second half of the game, in my humble opinion, is even better than the first half. It's not just because the chapters become larger and more interesting, but it's also because of what opens up to you. And here in the Toad Town docks, which is accessible by going west from where the Shy Guy toy box was, we see our old friend Colorado.
Who am I, you say? Why, my dear chap, I am none other than Colorado, famed adventurer and archaeologist. I'm touring the world. Yes, and you're Mario. Yes, what are you doing here? Well, I, for one, am traveling bravely to LavaLava Island in the Southern Sea to solve a diabolical mystery, you see. It would seem that there are ancient treasures waiting in a volcanic cave. I'm in a bit of a fix, though. What? No way to get better, you see. Think now, Colorado. How to cross the sea.
For some reason, Colorado talks to Mario as if he didn't run into you in the desert. And that is because all of the interactions between Colorado and Mario in Dry Desert are optional. However, this interaction is mandatory. And to progress, you need to spin jump on the large light blue cyan-colored island. Or at least, it only looks like an island. Because what it is, in actuality, is a whale.
Oh, good heavens, I was wondering what this was. It seems to be a huge tuna.
Oh, well. The tuna claims that he's not a whale, that he's a whale, But Colorado, a famed archaeologist, claims that this whale is a tuna. I'm going to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, who would you believe more in this instance? That's what I thought.
I say, old boy, this great tuna seems to have a bit of a bellyache. Yes. Mario, what say you lend the fish a hand? Let's say, well, what?
And the tuna claims, not even a fish. This is true, though, that whales are technically considered aquatic mammals rather than fish. Which is interesting because you don't really see whales stay outside of bodies of water. At any rate, we are tasked with being Dr. Mario for a day as we enter the tuna, and you need walk for this.
Wow, who dat? What do you think you're doing with that light?
So, we run into here, and we run into this ornery-looking fellow known only as the Fuzzipede. And Fuzzipede is actually a mini-boss of sorts.
Hey, fella, you want a piece of this? You got it. Ornery's all get out. Prepare for some pain.
So, unfortunately, due to the way that this battle works with illumination, you are not going to be able to tattle Fuzzipede with Goombario. Because this is exactly what happens. You can't target. You can charge, sure, but you can't target. So this would be one instance where you don't necessarily need to have a quick charge. At any rate, though, I wonder if we can actually paralyze the Fuzzipede with a Watt, and it looks like, yeah, you can paralyze it for 3 turns. That's pretty nice. We also have access to Chill Out, which comes from my favorite Star Spirit, Muscular. It will lower attack power by 3. Fuzzipede only has about 3 attack, though, so I wouldn't really bother, to be honest. So at this point in the fight, Fuzzipede is on the ground, and if you use Power Shock with Watt, Fuzzipede will stay on the ground. Fuzzipede has 20 HP, so if you use 3 Power Jumps with Power Plus equipped, you will finish off the Fuzzipede well enough. What I'm curious about... Okay, so even if an enemy is paralyzed, you can still hit them with Watt's Electro Dash. That's very interesting, and I think we're going to try and finish off Fuzzipede this way. Well, alright then, that was fairly quick and painless, surprisingly. This fight can be annoying sometimes, because,
Shucks, first I think I get away from that old fishing man, and then I get all swallowed up by some huge fish. And then this fella with the mustache goes upside my head. I've just been falling out of frying pans in the fire since I was just a grub. Talk about a lousy lot in life.
So, yeah, the tuna insists that it's a whale, and, Colorado is saying that it's a tuna, so... Again, I don't think this is up for debate at this point. What an interesting way to start Chapter 5, though. I mean, we're technically still in the interlude phase between Chapter 4 and Chapter 5, but for all intents and purposes, this is how we start our adventure into Chapter 5.
Hey, it's you, boy! You're that dumb old fish that ate me up and such. You plumb idiot! I thought I was a goner for sure.
I'm awfully sorry. I was just having a nap with my mouth open.
Well, I suppose I can see my way to forgiving you this time, but you just watch it. I reckon I owe you some thanks after all, Mr. Mustache. Y'all take care now, you hear?
Glad we could get that situation sorted out. Whew, I feel so much better now. They should call you Dr. Mario. There must be some way I can express my gratitude. I've got it. I, the tuna. He admits it. I mean, I, the whale, delusional, am quite good at swimming. To express my thanks, I'll take you anywhere you want to go.
Pardon the eavesdropping, Hufflet, but did you just say anywhere? Mario, you old tuna tamer, accompany me to the shores of LavaLava Island. Yes, what? What a trip it'll be. The island will be wonderful. You must trust my instincts. Go, what? Yes, what?
Mario, I think the Star Kid said a Star Spirit was, caught on the big LavaLava island. We should go. Big Whale, give us a ride. Whee! I don't think it's possible to have any other partners there for that dialogue either, so that's pretty interesting. LavaLava Island, yes, of course I know where it is, but there's a big volcano on the island. It's on the verge of erupting. Very dangerous. Do you still want to go? Well, okay then. It's your call. Just let me know when you're ready to go. And we are indeed ready to go, so let's go ahead and set sail for this LavaLava Island, which was alluded to during the Peach segment that we prefer not to refer to. The one after Chapter 4 with the baking the cake and what. So, yeah, let's just head on straight to LavaLava Island and enjoy a ride on a tuna, as Colorado puts it. For the love of God, everyone, yeah, he's a whale. But I like calling the whale a tuna because Colorado is funny. He's a funny character. It's a shame that he doesn't show up in the Thousand Year Door. Not that the Thousand Year Door it doesn't reference this game as much as some people think it does, or think it would. At any rate, Chapter 5! Hot Times on LavaLava Island. And the boss silhouette looks very, prickly. One way to put it. Reminds me of Naval Piranha from Yoshi's Island. Speaking of which, if you were a fan of Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, which is probably my single favorite game of all time the more and more I think about it, that will greatly enhance your enjoyment of this chapter, and this area really. So, you may have already figured it out, that this entire episode is going to be LavaLava Island. It's a fairly large place, and taking care of all of the mandatory events and whatnot will definitely take a while. But here we can grab a stopwatch. It's a great way to keep track of time, you know? And pretty much any palm trees you hit with your hammer on LavaLava Island will give you a coconut. As you probably can see from my inventory, we are running really low on inventory space, but thankfully, we are going to run into a town soon enough. These plants are interesting, so if you examine these plants, they sometimes will give you HP and sometimes they won't. There are also these spinning plants, where if you go on them and push the spin button, which is Z or ZL on the Switch Pro controller, and usually you will get some coins for your trouble. As I said, if you hit these, you get a coconut. Try to get at least 2 coconuts.
Yard, help, I say, help!
We will address that shortly. You want to climb up here, because this has a letter that you can deliver for a star piece, of course. Now, before we start this fight, I'm going to say this now. You probably already noticed this during the Fuzzy Pea fight. You want to equip Zap Tap for the entirety of your adventure in LavaLava Island, specifically, because of these new fuzzy enemies. Say hello to Jungle Fuzzy, which, depending on how you look at it, could actually be either the hardest fuzzy enemy in the game or the easiest. And I will explain why that is. This is a Jungle Fuzzy. Jungle Fuzzies are very similar to other fuzzies, but they live in the jungle, hence their name. 7 HP and 2 attack, which is a modest upgrade over the Forest Fuzzy. But the thing about Jungle Fuzzies is that they don't attack you just one time. What they will do is they will latch onto you, and they will keep doing 2 damage and healing 2 HP for as long as they're latched onto you until you can repeatedly mash the A button and get them off of your back. So, but with Zap Tap, they can't touch you. So instead of using Power Jump to knock them out in one hit, you could just take your time and use Quake Hammer in addition to the Zap Tap damage. Also, like the Forest Fuzzies, Jungle Fuzzies can also multiply. And I think in this case, I do want to use Power Jump. Because if I don't, we're going to be on this fight for a while. So at this point, I need to double check what my level is so we know for clarity's sake. But 2 experience per Jungle Fuzzy is pretty good. I do want to double check my level though after we take care of Colorado.
Phew, you saved me. Many thanks, old chum there. What? Well, enough of that. Let's pull ourselves together and press on. What say?
Alright, so at level 13, Jungle Fuzzy still get 2 experience, which is very good naturally. There's going to be 1 palm tree in particular around here that should have a star piece, and this is the one that I was thinking of. Okay. So now we can move onward in peace. Say hello to Yoshi's Village. And I know I Spy says there's a star panel around here, but let's take a chance to relax.
Hi, hello, howdy, this is Yoshi's Village. Not LavaLava, you see. Well, the volcano is just to the east of our village, but there's no way to reach it. Besides, the village leader said it's best not to get too close because it looks like it might erupt any day now.
I'm not going to talk to every Yoshi as tempting as it is. Well, if it isn't our old friend, Chuckwismo. Allow me to crack my fingers as I dust off this old nonsense.
Quiz! It's everyone's favorite quiz, Master Chuckwismo. Want to try the quiz? I'm sorry. Quiz to the question. What color are Luigi's pants?
That's kind of a trick question because if you just omitted the pants part, you would think that's asking what color is Luigi, which most people would say green, right? Because that's the majority of the color of his outfit. Alright, this brings us up to 8 questions, so we are officially 1/8 of the way to getting all 64 star pieces from Chuckwismo. That is not going to break my chill though, although it came close. At any rate, the star panel is in front of this inconspicuously placed Raven statue. Ravens are enemies from Yoshi's Island. And we do want to talk to this chubby-looking Yoshi with the feather in his head.
Welcome to you, Mario. I am the village leader of Yoshi's village.
You came seeking help. Do you wish to go to Mount LavaLava, do you?
The entrance to the volcano is in the jungle, but it's very difficult to get to. The volcano has awakened as well. I think it may be too dangerous for you to go there.
We will have to come back to that in a future point. And now we're in the Yoshi Village proper. And yes, you may want to keep a pin note on this specific location here. If we jump on the spring over here, to the top of the tree is a bunch of little raven birds. But all they know how to say is caw. Caw, caw, caw is all they know how to say. So a bunch of Yoshi kids here is interesting, and we also have this fishy.
Oh, it's so rare to have visitors these days. I'd love to stop and chat, but I have my fins full. I'm watching these boys who are very, very naughty, so they don't do anything dangerous. I can't prove it yet, but I think they're planning something. Yes. Well, if they think they could fool Sushi, they'd better think again.
Well, that's rather interesting. I would talk to all the Yoshis to see what they have to say, but I do want to keep a good pace for this. I do want to put specific attention to the adult yellow Yoshi, though, because if you talk to this Yoshi, they will point out Sushi, of course, because that might be important for future reference, saying that she watches over the kids, complaining about her, but kids are kids. By the way, an archaeologist named Colorado went into the jungle. So, yeah, that's interesting. And here we have the item shop for Yoshi's Island. Snowman dolls are still 15 coins, which is why I recommend trying to track them down or just buy them from the Boo shop. Thunder Rages are 5 coins cheaper than they were in the Toad Town shop, though, which is nice. Honey syrups are more expensive than they are in Dry Outpost, but they're cheaper than Toad Town. 15 coins for Super Shroom is not terrible, and 2 coins for Tasty Tonic I think is technically the best deal in the game. technically. Alright, so we only have 2 slots left in storage, and I'm going to put both of my coconuts there because we're going to need 1 coconut for a Koopa Koop favor down the line, and another one for cooking. We are officially full on inventory. So what we have here is what we're going to have to use to make do. And I would really prefer not to use, the snowman dolls right now. So, if I have the refund badge equipped now, I should probably unequip it, to be honest. I don't think I have it equipped, though, but... Okay, I do have it equipped. I might use the stopwatch for the lulz, you know. Hit this tree and there's nothing there, and we have another enemy encounter to worry about. Let me see if I can actually hit the enemy with Bombette. Yes! I have had an accident where I accidentally hit Colorado with the bomb, even though I swore it hit the enemy. But at any rate, we are surprisingly not done with Shy Guys yet. So say hello to the Spear Guy. This is the Spear Guy. Spear Guys are relatives of Shy Guys. 7 HP and 3 attack. So statistics-wise, they are on the upper end of difficulty for Chapter 4 enemies, which is just fine for the start of Chapter 5. What's interesting is that if they're low enough on HP, they can throw their spear at you and take off their grass skirt and just become ordinary Shy Guys. They can also call for reinforcements. So if they have the spears pointed up, they will not take damage from jump attacks and they will be considered spiky enemies. But if you use a hammer attack on a spear guy that has the spear pointing forward, that's not going to work out. But there is a loophole, and that loophole is the wonderful Quake Hammer badge, which took care of that really easily. Blocking the spear attack is a little tricky because of the timing. There's like a very slight delay, but at any rate, let's have Mario do an attack. Why not? So that probably would have been a solid opportunity to use a stopwatch, but I'm going to try and hold on to it just a little bit longer. Because we're not done with mandatory enemy encounters in the LavaLava Island.
Phew, you saved me once more. What? You're top-notch, Mario. Now, I feel that our destination, the volcano, is quite near. Yes. Let's press on while our spirits are high. Yes, hey, what?
How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay, we do have enough because I do need to point attention to this Jam and Jelly over here. This is the item that restores 50 flower points. It's the companion to the Ultra Shroom, which restores 50 HP. And I want to point attention to that now because I don't know when I'll have an opportunity again.
Ah, Mario, have a look at this, old boy. What?
And that's the entrance to Mount LavaLava.
Looks like the entrance to the volcano. Hey, old boy. What? Somewhere in that volcano are the treasures I'm looking for. I know it. The secrets of an ancient civilization. And yet, I can't find a way in. A bit of a sticky wicket.
A sticky wicket, indeed. I like that.
But I shall not give up. A good explorer never stops gathering information. What? Let's go back to the village to look for clues. What? There must be a way in there. Now, there simply must. Come now. That's what.
I really can't resist doing a voice for Colorado. It's just funny, you know. It's not often you get to do a fake British accent. I haven't been doing much of the British accent. I've just been doing like, I don't know. So yeah, Colorado does a bit of a fake out after the 2 encounters where, you know, you had to fight enemies, but you know what they say about the magic of 3 times, right? But here's what's interesting. Now when we go back into the village, it was just really peaceful. Now there's like really chaotic music, and all of the Yoshis are in a panic. And that's because the Yoshi children have randomly gone missing. And Sushi as well, apparently. So now we want to look for the Yoshi kids because I think... let me see if Colorado explains it. I could swear it's explained... Oh, I guess to try and quiz them about a way into LavaLava, or Mount LavaLava, I should say. But now we can get into the jungle proper. You see this block over there? We need that block. You will see why. So if you jump on this, it's a simple plant. I don't know what exactly it's called, but yeah, it's a plant that, Oh! This plant has some bite to it. Okay, so yeah, LavaLava Island, some of the fauna is going to try and kill you. This is a hurt plant, the opposite of a heart plant, which is what the plants that give HP are called. 8 HP and 2 attacks, so they're slightly weaker than a Clubba. Here's the thing though, hurt plant can poison you. But here is where Refresh gets a bit of a refresh, so to say. Because while the 5 HP, 5 flower point recovery isn't that great at this point, Refresh will recover poison and shrink. And for some reason, shrink is in uppercase, but not poisoning. Okay, now, Power Jump, even with the Power Plus, only does 7 damage, so it's not going to kill the hurt plants, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a Quake Hammer to do 3 damage to each of them. And we're going to try and block the attacks. Even if you don't block it, they only do 2 damage, thankfully. And Zap Tap comes in clutch because it'll deal damage to them. You mostly want to have Zap Tap for the jungle fuzzies, but it also works for all these other enemies that like to do direct attacks, as it were. Let's have Goombario attempt to do a head bump. Okay. I probably shouldn't do Refresh, because I'm probably just going to get poisoned again. So we will just do a Quake Hammer, as it were. Oh, I'm actually going to get an opportunity to use Refresh anyway. Yeah, I think oh, maybe not. Well, that worked out, for the most part. We are running low on HP and flower points, though, so I'm probably going to want to use Refresh at some point. Thankfully, not all of them are heart plants, so we can actually get a bit of a HP recovery from this heart plant, as it were. I'm going to keep going until it, like, makes nothing. Okay, that should be enough. Let's head on over here and hit this tree for a coin. And if we examine this suspicious-looking bush over here, well, what do you know? It's this is an enemy called an ambush. I'm not sure what the M is short for. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. These guys have the same stats as a Clubba, but their bites can also poison. So for some reason, we have 2 enemies that are, by all intents and purposes, basically the same enemy, but one of them is slightly stronger than the other. I want to say that the hurt plant has a slightly higher chance to poison you, and maybe that's the difference, as it were. So we're going to use a Quake Hammer here because these guys bite you, so it's a close range attack. Okay, we blocked that. That's pretty nice. And whoop. Okay, so I can definitely block these guys' attacks a little bit better. I'm not poisoned, but I'm going to use Refresh anyway, just for the flower point recovery, because we're down to 3, as it were. This is a good time to consider using the lemon candy if you didn't use it on the anti-guy in Shy Guy's Toy Box, which I assume you haven't. And Lady Bow does 5 damage with her smack for no flower points, so on enemies with 0 defense, she is really good value, as it were. We're gonna focus so we get a little bit of the star meter back, of course, and I believe now the ambush is down to 3 HP, so we can finish him off with whatever enemy, but we're gonna stick with that with Bow just for the sake of it, because we are actually about to get a new party member, believe it or not. And yeah, enjoy the fact that enemies give 2 star points, because for as long as we're going to be on LavaLava Island exploring, yeah, get back here this instant, you little ingrates! Yeah, you probably know what's coming, because I gave it away with the voice, right? Hey, you, down there! Look up here, you hear me? This is so embarrassing, I'm stuck in this tree, can you help me out somehow? So, what you gotta do is you gotta hit the tree 3 times, for some reason. Come on now, try harder! And this will free Sushi from her tree prison, as it were. Oh, phew, I'm saved. I feel like one big ache. Thanks for getting me out of that
tree. I think I'll be okay now. I was chasing those nutty little Yoshi boys, and I fell into their trap. Don't they know how dangerous it is to go into the jungle? I have to find them before they get in too deep. As for you, you'd better get back to the village too. It's dangerous out here.
Yeah, for some reason, Sushi, doesn't know who Mario is, which is a bit awkward. I do think later on she comes to her senses, maybe? No, I don't think she does. I think Sushi pretty much remains blissfully unaware of who Mario is, and I'm not sure if it's because Sushi has lived her life on an island this whole time or not, but, yeah. However, later on, I think after this chapter, Sushi will receive a letter at the post office from her daughter, I think. And her daughter knows who Mario is. So, oh man, imagine being so old that you don't know who Mario is, or know what Super Mario Brothers is. At this point, you would have to be really stinking old, okay? Yeah. So anyway, Sushi joins your party and basically becomes your go-to mode of transportation in LavaLava Island, in a way. So this area is full of stuff to explore, matter of fact. It's pretty fun just to dive in the water with C down, honestly, but I know this star piece probably caught your attention, so we're gonna do this. But here's a secret about this island you may not have known about. If you hit this tree, you will knock down a letter to Rusty, as it were. Yeah, a star piece and a letter that will get you another star piece. Since we're so close, I also want to talk to this Bobo over here because hopefully we can get the last magical seed. Yo, what's up? Thanks for waking me up, bro. This island's so nice, isn't it? It's the perfect place for napping. Perfect temperature. I'm a Bobo, but my job is to fill this well with flowers. Nice, huh? I want you to take a seat. Or rather, that's what I want to say to you. Unfortunately, the seed isn't quite ready yet. Don't worry though, it'll be ready any time now. Waiting in such a warm, comfy place can't be all bad, right? Come grab the seed later. I'm pretty generous, man. So I'll be here giving stuff to people, man. Yeah, I don't know. I believe that is the first time I actually tried to give a voice to the Bobos, though. Because it's the last Bobo we have to worry about, right? Unfortunately, we can't get the seed right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and spoil this to you guys. You're not gonna be able to get that seed until after you defeat the Chapter 5 boss. They really wanted to sink it in that, the Bobos are the piece, are the puzzle to getting to Chapter 6. At any rate, let's knock out this enemy, real quick. This spear guy enemy. Getting awfully close to a level up over here. At any rate, let's hit this block, and we finally have one of the best badges in the game, and probably the best hammer-related badge in the game. You might be wondering why I have one badge point reserved. That's to upgrade Quake Hammer to Power Quake. So, I know what you guys wondered. What is Power Quake? How is it an improvement over Quake Hammer? It's twice the flower point cost and twice the badge point cost. But it's also twice the damage. So it does 4 damage to all enemies on the ground and the ceiling. It pierces the vents. And it also works with Power Plus badges. We have a Power Plus equipped right now. Okay? So guess what? That's gonna do about, yes, 5 damage to all enemies, which almost kills the enemies in this chapter. Okay, so let's go ahead and knock out another enemy over here. I do want to point out now, because now is the best time to point this out. Starting out, Sushi will have access to a move called Body, really the same thing as Shell Shot, funnily enough, but it does extra damage to fire enemies. Which, as you might have guessed, is going to become relevant pretty soon. When you first get Sushi, her Belly Flop will do 1 to 3 damage, and Squirt will do 5 damage. We're going to upgrade her for the first time, so she'll master Water Block to increase Mario's defense power. So this is actually similar to Watt's turbocharge, but it's for defense instead of attack, as it were. It can be useful, especially in Mount LavaLava against all the fire enemies. I think this is a hurt plant. Yes, it is. So I'm probably, arguably a lot of Sushi's battle capabilities, I'm probably going to save to show off in Mount LavaLava. Not to say that there won't be any fights to show off here, because there are. There are at least two more fights I need to leave in for the sake of the story. And possibly at least one more fight somewhere. Okay, if you jump on this plant, you will take 1 HP of damage in exchange for 1 coin. It's not that bad of a deal, honestly, especially when you have so many coins. Let's see. I want to hit this tree, because obviously... Oh yeah, a fright jar. Hilarious. We're gonna head east, because we get a sneak peek at a certain statue. And we're also... get interrupted by that enemy, but actually it kind of works out, because we are close to a level up. Okay, let's hit this log with a hammer, and I guess whatever fight comes next is going to be a level up, and it'll also be an opportunity to show off Sushi in battle. That's a hurt plant, and I guess this is going to be the fight. So it's very tempting for me to go ahead and try and finish off badge points. I don't think I'm hurting for HP that much, but I'm going to boost HP for the sake of you guys and the audience, because I do think getting your HP up to 25 here is a pretty good idea. And let's get rid of the fuzzy. You know, for as good as Power Quake is, I really wouldn't recommend using it for 2 enemies or less. So let's head all the way here.
Eek! Somebody help me!
So yeah, we run into the yellow Yoshi kid who is being ganged up on by piranha plants. I know what you might be thinking. Didn't we already fight piranha plants in Forever Forest? Well, here's the thing. Also, I'm going to try and get a first strike, and it works out. Alright, yeah, you can get a first strike on these, so these are piranha plants, but they're actually a variant of piranha plant. You probably already noticed that by the fact that they aren't facing, like, up. They're actually facing horizontally. Say hello to putrid piranhas. This is a putrid piranha. 12 HP and 3 attack. But they also have an attack where they can breathe poisonous breath on you, and that only does 2, but it poisons you. So, for LavaLava Island, these enemies are treated as mini-bosses, and for that HP, I can kind of see it. But actually, when we get to Mount LavaLava, they're regular enemies there. So yeah, they expect you to step it up. We are going to try and use the stopwatch here. Probably not the best time to use it. There's actually another fight that might be slightly better, but I just want to clear out my inventory somewhat, to be honest. And it works out on one of them, but not both. But the other one's knocked out for 4 turns, and I blocked the poison breath attack. So because they have so much HP, yeah, having the power plus, having your beefy party members, it's really nice. So I mentioned that Sushi starting off will have a belly flop that does 1 to 3 damage. If you upgrade it a single time, it will do 2 to 4, which is just enough to finish off that putrid piranha war. At this point, every other enemy that we run into will now give 1 star point, but putrid piranhas still give 2. So we're still going to get a somewhat okay payout in terms of experience here. And even though they have a lot of HP, I would really recommend using Water Block here. I think it's kind of a waste of your flower points, to be honest. Yeah, it costs the same as Squirt, but you probably are better off just using Squirt, to be honest. I mean, yeah, they're plants, but it still does 6 damage. Thankfully, Squirt it only gets bonuses. It doesn't get nerves when used on specific enemies. Thankfully. So, yeah, the Yoshi Kid thanks you for rescuing him. Again, kind of a Spyro reference. Actually, this game did come out a few years after the original Spyro the Dragon, so who knows? Who can say, really? I think we want to go south here. Let's not ignore this single coin, though, because, yeah, it's one of those situations. Pay attention to that bird statue over there, though, because we are going to have to come back to that. If we head south, though, And I want to say this is like a Yoshi Kid that people miss out on usually. But if you go south, we rescue the purple Yoshi Kid. Okay? Probably the closest in color scheme to Sushi herself, funnily enough. So yeah, I would say this Yoshi Kid is the one that most people probably get stumped on. Examine this plant, and it's a party popper. Sometimes you get a coin out of it. But I like the noise it makes. Like, it's funny. But if you hit this log will actually serve as a checkpoint, or not checkpoint, a shortcut back to the Yoshi Village. Okay, that's pretty handy. And I guess if you missed Power Quake earlier, it's a good chance to get Power Quake now, because Power Quake is a badge that is going to be useful to you basically for the rest of the game. Yes, even in the final chapter, when you will have access to another upgrade over Power Quake. Power Quake is actually kind of better than the badge that is the successor to it. Anyway, let's knock out this enemy. And I will say that if you can actually get the Jungle Fuzzies to multiply, they can still give you some solid experience if you're able to kill at least 4 or 5 of them. So you get 4 star pieces, or star points as it were. We're going to head west here first, because this area not only has another Yoshi Kid to rescue, but it also has a star piece. Pretty convenient. I equipped I Spy to show off the star panel in Yoshi Village. I think there's one other star panel here in LavaLava Island, and we're going to get that like towards the end of this episode, I would say. Thankfully, this Yoshi Kid is not flanked by enemies, and yeah. Look, if the Jungle Fuzzy wants to walk literally right into my lap and give me 3 star points, I'm not gonna say no. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I believe this is our 3rd Yoshi Kid rescued. There are 5 of these little guys, and they're all adorable, of course. Who doesn't think that a Yoshi Kid looks adorable? Besides, you know, the ones from the new Super Mario Bros. Game, specifically New Super Mario Bros. U. Yeah, those 3D models aren't exactly the most flattering. They're still adorable, kind of, but not as much as they are in Super Mario World, and especially in Paper Mario here in this game. Alright, so we're going to come over here to this dock. There's a tree over here. Hit all trees and examine all bushes, because you never know when you might find an extra coin or 2. And it's pretty convenient, I would say. And yeah, we're almost at 500 coins. You want to examine these bushes, and more free experience from Jungle Fuzzies. You love to see it, especially with Zap Tap. It's such a great badge, isn't it? I will say that it gets a lot of use in Chapter 5. It gets some use in Chapter 7 as well, towards the second half. And maybe in the boss fight of Chapter 6. So, and an optional fight or 2, definitely. So, we rescue the green Yoshi Kid, who might be the leader of the bunch. I don't know. I think it's either the green one or the red one that consider themselves the leader, if there's a leader. I don't know. I don't really pay too much attention to like the lore of the Yoshi Kids. All I can tell you is that the Yoshi Kids are adorable, and I think that's all we really need to know or care about. Regarding flower points, we do have enough to use Power Quake 5 times in a row, which I think is pretty stinking good, to be honest with you guys. So, I'm not really concerned about upgrading flower points. It's tempting. But I think I'm going to actually upgrade badge points next time, and if we need more flower points, I can just equip a flower point plus badge. Alright, so we're coming up on the last Yoshi Kid to rescue here, and I do want to see how many flower point. Do we have 2? Yeah, we have 2 flower point pluses, so yeah, worst case scenario, we can examine this plant to see if we get another coin. We do not. And we have a mandatory encounter with 4 ambushes. So I am going to leave this fight in, even though we're not going to level up and we already fought these enemies. Because with Power Plus, all you need to do is use a fully charged Power Quake, and you can finish the enemies off with a fully charged Power Shell Cooper. So I'm glad Cooper got to get a little bit of spotlight this episode, because I think that's going to be like the last time that he's going to be really useful. Maybe, maybe not. You don't know for sure. Let's head over here and hit this tree. We don't get anything interesting. More importantly, though, if you examine this bush, we rescue the 5th and final Yoshi kid. The red Yoshi kid. So, yeah, they all regret what they do, and they, they start to get an appreciation for sushi. When you rescue the final Yoshi kid, the music resets for some reason. So, if we head over here, we will be back at the island, or the island shore. I think that's what we want to call it, the shore. You can talk to Mr. Tuna to go back to Toad Town. And actually, I think if you do it now, or if not now, then later on, you can actually trigger a fight with Junior Troopa. I mention this now because it's tempting to do it early like I did in Chapter 3, but I actually think that I would rather do that actually after Chapter 5. This is the best way to return to the village because we need to be on the screen, because now we want to talk to the village chief over there. My favorite Yoshi character in Paper Mario. I like his design. And some people think that the chief might be the same Yoshi from Yoshi's Island, because for some reason I think that this Yoshi's the only one that calls Mario by name. Which is very interesting. Anyway.
You have saved the children of the village. I feel that no expression of our gratitude could be enough. You truly are a hero. We deeply appreciate your valor. At least I can do this. You still wish to go to Mount LavaLava, don't you? I have remembered a good way to reach the volcano. Please come this way.
And this is how we get a little, jade, I think it's a Jade Raven statue? I forget the exact name, but we're about to get it. Yeah, it's just the Jade Raven. It's the Jade statue for Raven that the Yoshi village leader gave you.
Whenever events beyond our control occur on this island,
We ask the help of Raphael the Raven, the island's master. If anyone can help you reach the volcano,
it's definitely Raphael the Raven. He lives in the depths of this island. If you place that Jade Raven into the statue of Raphael, the way into the depths of the jungle will appear. I haven't been to see Raphael since I was but a young Yoshi.
Raphael the Raven was one of the last bosses in Yoshi's Island. Are we sure that this guy isn't the same Yoshi? Yeah, and he starts talking about how it's hard to reach Raphael because of some trials and tribulations. But Sushi butts in.
Wait just a 1 minute. You must have one heck of a story behind you, Mario. Why in the world would you want to go to Mount LavaLava? It's very hot and very dangerous in the volcano. If you aren't extremely careful and lucky, you'll be roasted to a golden brown. Yes, sounds quite delicious actually, but you don't care. You guys are going there anyway. I do not approve of this. You're going to the volcano because you want to save the princess from some bad guys? Yes. What a touching story. Romantic stories like that just touch a soft spot in this heart of mine. That does it. I can't let you go alone. I, Sushi, will be by your side until the end. You needn't worry, Mario. I love taking care of others. If you plan on getting through this jungle, you need me anyway. Yes, come, Mario. That volcano isn't getting any cooler.
No, it is not. No, it is not. And I think it's going to be the last time I try to do Sushi voice. I had kind of a funny, pompous British voice in mind, but I don't know. I can't really do it anymore. I want to talk to this Yoshi. Okay, this Yoshi, the kids are all bad. I was heartbroken. Okay, so this Yoshi, I think, unfortunately, we have to wait until after Chapter 4, after we defeat the boss. But if you talk to this Yoshi, he will sniff out your tasty, specifically made food. That's actually why I made a fried shrimp. If you give this Yoshi food that is made by Tasty, well, he will give you an interesting item in exchange. However, our inventory is full, so we want to sell the fright jar, obviously. God, honest with you guys, I really wish I could do something here, but there's not much I can do until we get back to Toad Town. So, yeah, we're going to be kind of cramped with items. Kind of tempted to use one of these items instead of resting at the Toad House, to be honest. I think that's what we're going to do. So now, what we want to do is we want to head back to the screen where we saw the bird statue that had like a square-shaped indent in it. That's going to take you back to where Sushi was. So, I would jump cut, but I think it's better for you guys if I just show you how to get there. We could have used the shortcut. Actually, yeah, I'm adult. We should have just used the shortcut. What am I talking about? So, yeah, let's head back to the screen, learn my lesson. Because, yeah, that's like half of the point of that log shortcut, is so we can get back to the square-shaped indent screen faster. So, you can actually rescue the purple Yoshi kid or the red one last, and it would still be efficient. Both are efficient ways to get back into the village, as it were. So, we're going to do this. This is another plant that you can examine that just kind of lights up, as it were. I don't think it gives coins, sadly. So we will put the Jade Raven in here, and we're going to have a few puzzles to solve here in the jungle. As well as a few enemy encounters. I think only one of them is mandatory. But if you're not careful, if you hit the wrong trees, you may run into some fuzzies. Also, more eggs. Just because. I think it's more efficient to get the eggs from Mount Rugged. But there's another way to get eggs if you needed them. So, yeah. I'm telling you, these jungle fuzzies, they just walk right into the meat grinder, as it were. Alright, so that puzzle is simple. This puzzle, okay, first let's get our free coin. Let's check if there's any other trees where we can also get free coins. No. So, what we have to do here is we need to move blocks onto holes. Because, by doing this, we can try to get this geyser to spawn in a very specific location that we want. And we want the geyser to basically show up underneath that big rock over there. Because we want the geyser to move the rock, as it were. So you can actually try and move blocks onto the holes preemptively. And this might save some steps. I've never really done this too much. So let's try this. And then, where is it? It moves all the way over there. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Alright, well, I guess we gotta go through the whole song and dance. Or no, actually, I think I might have saved a step or two by doing it that way. So, you do that, and the geyser gets really huge and moves the block out of the way. Thank you very much, geyser. Just move the block back, and there we go. The way is cleared. I like that puzzle. It's simple, but you know. We got another jungle fuzzy, and I think this is a fire flower. Alright. Jungle Fuzzy Factory, I'm telling you. I'm surprised we had enough room for a fire flower. Okay? Another Jungle Fuzzy because you need to hit this vine specifically to be able to move on. Yeah, business as usual. I appreciate the flower point recovery, but it's like, not necessary. Oh, we have a regular mushroom. Funnily enough, I have been putting off eating this lemon candy, and now is a good time to do so. 5 HP, 15 flower points. It's very nice, so we'll hold on to the mushroom for the lulz, I guess. Okay, here's where the star panel is. Is it over here somewhere? Oh, it's exactly right there. Well, that gives away that we're probably going to fight some enemies soon. And there's some heart plants and a coin over there. I know. I saw it. So, what I want to show off is if you go near the putrid piranhas, they do a little dance before the fight starts. And you will get a unique music track. You will get the mini-boss music track. But you can, of course, get a first strike with Cooper. I don't think you can do it with Bombette. I think you get too close. You can get a first strike on the first Putrid Piranha enemy, and you will get the regular enemy encounter music. More importantly, though, it's going to be the second time we run into a Magic Koopa, but this is a white Magic Koopa, named so after the color of his robe. One of the magicians of the Koopa clan. 11 HP, 3 attacks. So it's only an upgrade of 3 HP over the Magic Koopa we fought at the beginning of the game. White Magic Koopas specialize in HP recovery, which is probably a solid first Magic Koopa opponent, to be honest. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take advantage of... Actually, you know what? I was saving up 3 snowman dolls for Mount LavaLava, but honestly, I think 2 is gonna be fine. So we're gonna give these guys a little serving of fire and ice, and also get some refunds on the side. When are we ever gonna see fire flowers again? Maybe chapter 7, honestly, but even then, I think fire flowers will kind of fall out of favor. I believe this is the first time that I'm using a snowman doll item on screen, so close to Mount LavaLava, it's fitting. I think it's a pretty funny animation, to be honest. So, yeah, that's gonna do a good bit of damage to the enemy forces there. The Putrid Piranhas really prefer the poison gas attack. So, I mostly did that to get the white Magic Koopa to use a healing move instead of like a magic attack, because the magic attacks are kind of hard to block. But, by doing this, we also get him down to this much HP. Guess what we can finish him off now? Guess what we can use to finish these guys off now? One of my new favorite moves in the game. Goal Strike! All enemies knocked out with Cooper. 11 star points. I believe that's 2 from each of... And we got a Fire Flower pack. You didn't have to do that, game. God, golly, though. But now we are officially in Raphael the Raven's domain. I really don't want to talk over the music. The music is so good here because it starts off calm and then it starts to get upbeat and really jiggy with it, man. God. So not only does Paper Mario do a lot of fan service and throwbacks to Yoshi's Island in this chapter, but it does its own thing as well, and it's just magnificent. By the way, here's a Happy Heart badge over here. You can get one from Shooting Star Summit, but you can also just get that one. And, it's okay. I think I might have been tempted to use it the first time I played the game because, you know, it says it'll automatically restore your HP. However, it's not guaranteed that it'll restore your HP every turn, as it were. Let's swap the sushi because it's fitting, and say hello to Raphael the Raven, everyone, returning from Yoshi's Island. Oh, welcome. Sorry, I'm so surprised, but I can't even remember the last time someone came up here. It's sure been a while. What? Oh yes, affirmative. I am the master of this island. Call sign Raphael the Raven. If you have any problems at all, just let me know, okay? Go ahead. Out with it. Oh, so you're Mario. I see. Roger that. It's worth noting that when Raphael saw Mario was a baby, so probably couldn't recognize him. Or he didn't know his name. Maybe he recognized, like, the figure, but he never got a name. Anyway, you can't find a way to reach the volcano, is that it? Yeah, that's a problem. Not for me, though. I'll help. To be honest with you, I knew you'd ask something like that. I got a message from the stars, so I knew you were coming. I've got something exceptional to give you that ought to help you on your way, but that's for later. Right now, let's take care of that volcano problem, okay? I'm just messing with you guys. So yeah, Raphael will call on his little minions, as it were. What's with the feet, though? That's what I don't get. What's with the freakish looking feet? Excellent response time, Ravens. We've got work to do. I will brief you only once, so I want your full attention. And for some reason, he does, like, I guess they didn't want to waste doing more caw-caw dialogue, so this is the compromise. And it must be done just as quickly as possible. Got it? I should hope so. Let's move, Ravens! Follow me. And we're gonna have to follow them in much the same way. I'd really like to do a spin jump here if I can. It's a little tricky though because of the sloping of the tree. But I did it first try. That's pretty nice. I think it actually saves you a little bit of time too. Like maybe a quarter of a second or something crazy like that.
Hey, ho!
Oh, man. Wow, I almost took the wind out of my sails. Come on, then. Now, so, as amazing as the music is, we're sadly going to have to leave it behind. We are now back in the screen where we got the jam and jelly, and where the entrance to the volcano is, as it were. Very close to the Toad House in Yoshi's Village, too, conveniently enough. Aye, aye, alright. Is everyone ready? Now, Ravens, get to work. So now, they're basically going to work on a mechanism that allows us to get to the top of the tree. And by doing so, we'll be able to walk across the branch and head to the volcano's entrance, as it were.
What in blazes?
I haven't heard from Colorado in a while. So, yeah. Caw! Yeah, all the caw.
Finished.
They actually talk? I never noticed that before. Roger that. You can reach the volcano now. But this isn't the most important thing now.
Ooh, top notch, really? It would appear we get into the volcano, dear boy. What luck, eh, Mario? I shan't delay another moment. The ancient treasures are calling me on. Onward.
So Colorado's gonna go ahead of us, but we're actually coming up to the end of this episode. Like I said, LavaLava Island takes a long time. But anyway, we're gonna end this episode on a strong note because Raphael wants to give you an important item. This item is the Ultra Stone, a stone that can be used to ultra rank your party members. So you know how we ran into an extra upgrade block, or if you run into an extra upgrade block in the sewers on your own playthrough, since I've been trying to avoid those up to now, now you can go back and get some upgrade blocks to upgrade your party members. I could do that right now, but I think it's more efficient to just end the episode here, and next time on Let's Play Paper Mario, we are going to knock out, or attempt to knock out, Mount LavaLava, as well as the enemies that lie inside. And our island adventure in LavaLava Island, and we pretty much finished off all of the mandatory events pertaining to that. And in this episode, we're going to be taking care of Mount LavaLava. I don't think it takes as long as LavaLava Island to take care of everything, but we're still going to be here for a while, so I thought it was best to devote an entire episode to it, as it were. Not to mention, we also still have to worry about post-chapter stuff, so, you know.
Identify as Mario. Alert. Report to boss. Alert. Alert.
So yeah, Putrid Piranhas, they were a mini-boss fight a couple times in LavaLava Island. Now they're regular enemy encounters.
I sense danger here, but yes, all adventures are dangerous though, so what of it? We must press on toward the glory of an unknown treasure.
Yeah, yes, fine. So, a running thing with Colorado in Mount LavaLava is that he's a bit of a bumbling... I wouldn't call him an idiot, but he's definitely bumbling in a lot of ways.
What's wrong with this rock? I'd sink right into the lava, old boy.
Yes. So, you definitely want to have sushi here in Mount LavaLava because of at least one enemy type that we should be running into here pretty soon. Waiting on these rock platforms, they go a little too slowly. I think they could have gone like 1.2 times faster. Okay, but here we are. This enemy is known... I wish I could have gotten the first strike. But this enemy is known as a lava bubble. Now, lava bubbles, they have pretty high stats for what they are. So, a fireball monster, possibly related to the Potoboo, all the way back in the original Super Mario Brothers, but I think these are basically a new take. So, if you remember the Ice Power Badge from Shy Guy's Toy Box, now is the time to equip that. The Pyro Guys were a sampler, but these guys are a straight improvement over Pyro Guy. 2 more HP and more or less the same attack power. So right now, our jump with Power Plus does 3. So with Ice Power equipped, this should do 5 plus 5. That's just enough to one-shot a lava bubble. So you block their normal attack, damage dodge will knock it down to 2. I would say if you didn't upgrade your HP to 25 by now, have an HP plus badge as it were. Let's see how much damage. Before we do that though, I want to show off group focus with Sushi. Ah, look at her eyes. It's so adorable with the flippers, or fins, I guess you could say. Yeah, I think I already showed off Goombario's group focus animation. So, yeah. Let's see how much damage a hammer does with Power Plus and Ice Power. 7 damage. Okay. You probably don't want to mess with that too much. You definitely want to use jump attacks with Ice Power and Power Plus on lava bubbles, as it were. Since we're about to finish off the lava bubble, let's see Cooper's group focus animation. Oh, that's nice. It looked like the line in his eyelids or whatever, they turned yellow like a hot second. I don't know if it was just me. But yeah, wow, 5 damage without even doing a full charge. That's, wow. Yeah, so Ice Power is a really good badge to have. It's a good thing you get it ahead of time. You know, unlike the whole down jump situation, I do think Ice Power is pretty tastefully placed. Here's a power block that you can obtain with Cooper, and we might get it on the way back because there's another new enemy that we're going to run into. But before that, we have an optional section here with more fire jump ropes, as it were. Because I love me a reference to one of my favorite Mario Party mini games of all time. You just time the A button, man. It's a nice test of your skill, as it were. And there are a lot more of these in the volcano than there were in the Koopa Brothers Fortress. I think there was only 2 of those in the Fortress. It only makes sense that there would be more in the volcano, though. So that shouldn't come as a surprise. My mama told me this is the one. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we've got our first opportunity to upgrade a party member to Ultra Rank. I already said you should upgrade Sushi ASAP, so you already know what this block is going to go to, but I do want to at least lay it out for you guys so you know. Goombario, he will master Multi-Bonk, which is basically Power Bounce. Basically Power Bounce for Goombario. It only costs 3 flower points, but it makes his regular attack do 3 plus 3, which is pretty good. Cooper will master one of my favorite moves in the game, Fire Shell. I believe it costs 5 flower points to do 6 damage to all ground enemies, and it will do extra damage to ice enemies, which we are not going to see until Chapter 7. We're in a chapter with fire enemies, so you don't want to upgrade Cooper to Ultra until Chapter 7, or close to it. Bombette will master Mega Bomb, which is 8? It's 8 or 9 FP or something crazy like that to do 7 damage to every single enemy. Paracarry will master Air Raid to attack all enemies. This is 6 flower points to do 6 damage to every single enemy. So I would say that this might be better than Mega Bomb, but Mega Bomb's pretty cool. Labo learns Fan Smack, which attacks 5 times. It does 2 damage 5 times, okay? So for only 5 flower points, you can do 10 damage to an enemy with 0 defense. Watt will master Mega Shock, which will paralyze all enemies. Okay, it's basically Power Shock, but at group level. And of course, we're going to upgrade Sushi. She will master Tidal Wave, which is basically Squirt at group level, but it can be tricky to actually take advantage of the full potential of Tidal Wave, as it were. Which is a bit sad to say. You want to have Watt, because there is a chance that you might run into some hidden invisible blocks in Mount LavaLava. There's probably not any there. And Watt is also going to be a good party member to have for the next new enemy that we need to show off in Tattle. Let's go ahead and grab this power block, and let's get Watt out to see if there's any hidden blocks. I don't see any, but we're going to bam, 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 bam. And then we're going to run into this enemy, which looks like an upgrade over the Buzzy Beetle from Chapter 2. It kind of is. This enemy is called a Spike Top. This is Spike Top. They have spikes on top. 4 HP, 3 attack, 4 defense. The only really impressive stat here is defense. At 4 defense, your Super Hammer isn't going to do any damage to them at all. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. It'd be nice if we got an upgrade to that hammer right now. But this is why we have Power Quake. Power Quake, even without Power Plus, will finish off every single Spike Top for you. And they give 2 star points at this point, which is very solid. So they give the same star points as a Putrid Piranha, I'm pretty sure. Let's have Watt back in the party. Watt also finishes them off in 1 attack, because Electro Dash does 4 damage even without the upgrade. Has evidence there, because that was a Spike Top and a Lava Bubble. I used a Jump Attack with Ice Power and Power Plus to finish off the Lava Bubble in 1 shot, and Watt's Electro Dash in 1 shot. Oh hey, looky here, it's a new type of block. There's going to be a badge coming up, and I got it first try. Say hello to the Fire Shield badge. This reduces the damage that Mario takes from fire attacks by 1. And if you didn't already have Ice Power equipped, then the Fire Shield would enable you to jump on fire enemies as well. I would say that Ice Power is better than Fire Shield, but then again, the best defense is a strong offense, as it were. But it's going to be useful for the remainder of Chapter 5, for the entirety of Mount LavaLava, so, you know, why not have it equipped for the time being? You want to head down and west, because, as you may have guessed from the fact that we have an enemy with 4 defense, by the way, here's a hidden block with a life shroom, very useful. You may have ascertained from the fact that we have an enemy with 4 defense, and we have a new type of block, that we're somehow going to get an upgrade to our hammer in the middle of a volcano. And you would be correct. And we actually get it fairly early on in this volcano dungeon, because we are going to eventually get our hands on the Ultra Hammer. Another really kind of obvious hint is there's also another one of those red metal blocks over here, but that's actually an optional area. I think I still want to go there though, because there's a badge. And I do want to collect all the badges. Even if you don't use all the badges, badges are a fun collectible, I think, in Paper Mario. Alright, so there's the chest with the Ultra Hammer. Like I said, we get it really early here in Mount LavaLava, as it were. And we want to make a bridge with 2 blocks, and we still have to go across with Parakarry, as it were. Be careful with the lava bubbles around here, though, because these guys will be flanked, as in they will be supported by Magikoopas. And here we have the introduction of the red Magikoopa, okay? So, yes, every single color variation of Magikoopa needs to be titled individually, I know. So we'll skip through the dialogue, it's not much. Red Magikoopas specialize in raising attack power. Okay, so you need to be careful about that. And, okay, we already ran into the white Magikoopas last time. They focus on HP recovery. And, yeah, the red ones, they're all about, offense. You know what? I can't think of any other time that we would use a power block. So I'm just going to use this power block to get out of the way. Free damage. I think it also knocks the red Magikoopa down to the ground. Not terrible, you know. Fire Shield and Ice Power. 1 damage from the lava bubbles, and if you raise the attack power, there is one caveat with the Magic Koopa enemies though. At this point, they give really solid experience. But if you kill every other enemy besides the Magic Koopa, then when their turn comes up, the Magic Koopas will run away like cowards. So what we're going to want to do now is we're going to want to swap to Sushi, and we're going to use Squirt on the lava bubble that just got buffed. Thankfully, I think Squirt is actually +2 damage, which is pretty nice. So Sushi gets even more of a bonus. It's actually kind of insane. We are not going to be able to kill the red Magic Koopa, unfortunately, so I'm going to save my flower points. Use a regular jump to knock it down to 3. I'm glad that the lava bubble isn't using its attack where it spits little fireballs at your party member and knocks them out for 2 turns. That's actually rather annoying. So now, what I want to do is I want to finish off the red Magic Koopa because I still want to show off. Oh yeah, I don't have the group focus bed anymore. So we're gonna squirt. We're just gonna squirt the lava bubble because yeah, it's the best thing to do. Sushi Squirt with the Ultra upgrade finishes them off in 1 hit. So why not? The other lava bubble is gonna be flanked by a white Magic Koopa, I'm pretty sure. So we're gonna cut that fight out. All right, we got a solid star point yield out of that fight. So it looks like we're gonna level up before we reach the boss. That's pretty nice. Anyway, we get the Ultra Hammer. The attack power of Mario's Hammer goes all the way up to 6. A base damage of 6. We have Power Plus equipped though, so now we do 7 damage. So I guess with Ice Power, that might be a one-shot on the lava bubbles, I think. I'll have to check on that. Before we head back though, let's break this block, as it were. And let's fly across here. Here's a Putrid Piranha enemy. I think I will leave it in because we get to see the Putrid Piranha with the volcano background, as it were. And yeah, we got another lava bubble situation over here. I did bomb Bet just to get the first strike. And yeah, you may as well have Sushi, even if you're not going for the lava bubble kills, you still want to use Sushi. So let's show off Tidal Wave. So basically with Tidal Wave, you have to push the right buttons to do more damage. And you'll do about 6 to 7 damage baseline. Or about that much. That's pretty good. Wow, I wasn't expecting to like finish off this fight, but I guess we can also show off the power of Ultra Hammer. Oh, bada bing bada boom, 7 damage. That's as much damage as your power jump will do. So you can save 2 flower points at this point in the game by using Ultra Hammer over Power Jump, even if you have a Power Plus equipped. This chest contains the Dizzy Stomp badge, which isn't terrible, but I do think it's placed a little bit too late for it to be really useful. Not that you can't still get use out of it, because you'll find that Chapter 6 is surprisingly pretty heavy on the jump. As in, you'll probably be using a lot of jump attacks in Chapter 6, and not as much of the hammer attacks. Although, thankfully, you'll have plenty of opportunity to use hammer during Mount LavaLava, as it were. Let's try to get the first strike on this guy. It is worth noting that the Ultra Hammer should do about 3 damage to a Spike Top, but you're still better off using Power Quake. So yeah, we'll worry about that guy later on. So Colorado is now caught up with us. Let's hit this block.
Yes, excellent. Oh, Mario, no time to hang about, little boy. Onward to glory.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do just that. There's a star panel here.
It smells like treasure. Treasure, oh boy. Make way. Yes, I'm going ahead. Tally-ho!
Well, that doesn't work out for Colorado, now does it? Where you're going to be on a zip line, and you need to time the release. There's like a shaft of light over there, which will take you to the second and last upgrade block in Mount LavaLava. So you've got choices here, I would say. So obviously you'll have already upgraded Sushi, which I think is mandatory. Okay, it's not mandatory, but it'll help you tremendously. Like, why wouldn't you do it? But I think you've got choices here. you could upgrade Goombario. You know, multi-bunk, charge, 3+3. That's cool. Cooper, I would say no to Cooper and no to Bombette. Honestly, these two, I don't really recommend it. I don't think it's really necessary to upgrade Watt right now either, because Watt's Electro Dash can knock out the Spike Tops in one hit. So it might be better to wait till, like, in between Chapter 5 and 6, or during Chapter 6 to upgrade Watt. So, with all that in mind, it really boils down to Goombario, Parakarry, or Lady Bow. And, I mean, being able to do 10 damage to an opponent, you can do 10 damage to a Putrid Piranha, which is pretty good. Air Raid is pretty good too, but you have to worry about Spike Tops, which only take like 2 damage from it, and only does half of the HP of the Putrid Piranha, so we are actually going to upgrade Lady Bow. Not that it's going to matter that much. I may wind up using her in the boss fight. I don't know yet, to be honest. I think it'd be hilarious to do 10 damage to the boss, because the boss doesn't have any defense. But I don't have any Flower Points right now, so we're not going to worry about that. There are a few enemies we got to worry about. Also, now the Ultra Hammer can knock out Star Panels instead of the Spin Jump. And I think the Ultra Hammer is way more efficient at Star Panels than that. So we're going to knock out all the enemies here, and I will see you guys in a few minutes. Alright, that should take care of all of the enemy encounters here. There's only 2 of them. And we got the Star Panel. Colorado is looking pretty rough, but he says, don't mind it, just keep going forward. Oh, his aching back, I suppose. We also have this guy to knock out, because I left him behind. He's a fully charged, regular Super Hammer attack. Okay, so we're going to upgrade badge points to 27. Just one more upgrade and we'll have 30. Hopefully that'll happen during Chapter 6. Okay, guys? Let's head back up there, and yeah, stats are looking pretty good. Worst case scenario, you can equip a Flower Point Plus badge, which is one reason why I just prioritize badge point upgrade over anything else. This looks pretty bad, but then you remember you have Lady Bow and or Speedy Spin. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Worst case scenario, you could have turned invisible, and the block, or the spiky thing, would have gone right through you. Pretty fun. Also, we have more of these flaming hot jump ropes. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, God! I let myself get nervous, but apparently it's still... Ah, man, I think I ruined it. I think I ruined it. I had to start all over because I got hit. I blame the lava bubble, to be honest. Oh, man. Hey, first time I technically failed it, though. So you can see, no matter how good you are, there's always a chance you can fail it. Not that it's that big of a deal, because it's only 1 HP. So let's see if I can get this one without the other lava bubble messing things up. Does it work? Okay, there we go. I think that's the last one. If not, there might be one more. And let's try to get this, that guy. I'm also happy to confirm that Ultra Hammer with Power Plus and Ice Power and fully charged will finish off a Lava Bubble. So that's nice. Okay, we got one more, like I said, so we're going to knock this out first try. Thank God. We get a lot of coins. We're almost at 700 coins. Probably more than I'm going to need at this point in the game, but you're going to need a lot of coins for, like, extra stuff. And we're going to be doing a lot of side quest stuff, if not between Chapter 5 and 6, definitely after Chapter 6. Okay, so, again, Watt at her current level is still useful for Spike Tops if you want to kill them without using Flower Points. Cooper can still have uses, Bombette for first strikes. Remember that Spike Tops and Buzzy Beetles take no damage, though. So I would still have Sushi. So I'm going to knock out the enemies. Telling you guys, Power Quake is a pretty good badge. You should probably use it. At any rate, we come to this wall in this block.
Wait, one moment, oh boy. According to the information I've gathered, the hidden treasure should be right around here. But I need to go a little farther.
Yeah, he needs to go a little farther. We need to move this block all the way to the left. Honestly, I wish this would go by a little bit quicker. Very tempted to do a jump cut here, but no, I'm just going to have you guys watch me move the block. Painfully. Tile by tile. I'm actually wondering if you didn't move it right here, can I just jump on her? Yeah, you can. Yeah, so save yourself a microsecond, and we're going to do something hilarious. I could outrun this, but no, I'm just going to turn invisible. And when the thing goes past you when you're invisible, you can't move because it needs to do this. Accidentally squishing Colorado, sadly. Or Colorado, I should say. Yeah, he's looking pretty bad. Barely nicked me, old boy. Oh, my poor shell. Alright, so, yeah, we got a star panel situation over here. I believe,
Close, so very close. My treasure hunting senses are going simply mad right now. My intuition tells me it's over here.
we also have a heart block. Good lord, that's going to come in clutch, but I want to get the star panel out of the way. Apparently there's 2 of those. For some reason my memory thinks there's like 1. And we're going to swap to Gumbario because the boss is going to be coming up pretty soon. Before we do that, though, we have a minor diversion to attend to.
Oh, huh? There seems to be nothing, alas. Even my finely owned intuition can be wrong on occasion. Yes. I shall not give up. Let's head back the other way. Perhaps the treasure is a bit deeper down in the volcano. Yes.
You can also get access to a maple syrup and a super shroom, which combined with double dip can be really useful. Because I would say this next boss can be really hard, especially in this version. Because, oh boy, I found out something really nasty about this fight in the Switch Online version. I don't know if it's the case when you're playing by yourself, but if you're playing this co-op with a buddy online, oh man.
Mario still approaching. Identified as searching for Star Spirit. Code Red. Report to boss. Alert. Alert.
Yeah, we get that whole spiel again. Okay, so this is the room with the boss. I don't want to go... Okay, right around that pillar. So that could be the game during an episode session, so yeah, let's head on forward. And it's time to fight the boss of Chapter 5. Oh boy. So here we go.
You made it, Mario! You guys, bad guys come to steal Star Spirit. Bad guys who come to steal Star Spirits get hurt. We don't let it happen. No! No! We trap Star Spirit. We get this volcano. Volcano is ours. Good deal. We make things hard for you. We beat you, Mario.
Oh god, that... You mind if I get a sip of water, guys? Yeah, that one kind of knocked me out. So say hello to Lava Piranha, and no, your computer or TV or whatever you're using to watch this on, it's not messing with you. Sadly, the Lava Piranha fight in the Switch version of Paper Mario has lag. And it has constant lag, okay? So because of the fact this fight is already fairly hard without the lag handicap, I'm going to be doing the safe strats, the slow and safe strats for Lava Piranha that I don't remember using since like the first couple times I did this fight. But this is a great time to show off my second favorite star power with my favorite Star Spirit.
Arr, matey, why don't you take a chill pill with chill out, arr.
So yeah, that's going to help because the lava buds, the little guys, they normally only do like 3 or 4 damage. And the big guy, the big Lava Piranha, does, I think, like 5 base damage. With Fire Shield, Defend Plus, and Chill Out, as well as Sushi's Water Block, that'll help you out a lot. So we're actually going to swap the Sushi, and we're going to show off Water Block, because I don't know if I'm going to show off this attack again in the playthrough. So we may as well show it off here. And you can see the timing is really messed up. So I'm only going to have it for 2 turns instead of 4. But that should be fine. And we're going to swap back to bow because at this point in the fight, ice attacks aren't going to do much more damage than your regular attacks. And we're going to use power jump on Lava Piranha. No doubt my timing got messed up there, but I think Water Block not only reduces your damage by 1, but I think for fire attacks, it reduces it even further. I could be wrong on that, don't quote me on it. I don't use Water Block as much as I used to. So yeah, I'm probably not going to get any timing right. But thankfully, this shouldn't be messed up. Just keep flicking to the left and boom, 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 boom. 10 damage with Fan Smack. Really helpful for this version of the fight, I have to admit. You're probably not going to use it as much during the second phase of this fight because, yeah, this fight has 2 phases. And Lava Piranha has 40 HP, which is a lot. I will not deny that that is a lot. Yeah, I keep trying to push the button. I'm just not getting it. Okay, so, you know, Lady Bow at max upgrade will do 6 damage, just like Goombario, to an enemy with 0 defense, which Lava Piranha does not have any defense. So that's excellent. I'm surprised I'm even getting some of these guards successfully, honest with you guys. And I can't get power jump. Like, I can't nail the power jump. Okay, at 9... you know what? I'm just gonna put him out of his misery because the second phase is definitely a lot easier than the first phase when you know what you're doing, which I am. And we're probably not gonna need Chill Out or Water Block for this second phase. You'll see why, even with the lag here in the Switch version, sadly. And I will say, yeah, this was a pain for my friend and I to do online with the lag and the extra input lag that happens because of it. So for the second phase of the fight, you definitely want to have Sushi active at all times. And what we're going to do is we're going to... Oh, ironically, I don't have enough for Double Dip. That's unfortunate. So what I was going to do is I was going to use a Snowman Doll and a healing item, but I guess we'll just use a Snowman Doll. So now that Lava Piranha is on fire, because yeah, he's a plant, but he can somehow be on fire and still be alive. That's pretty amazing. It must have something to do with Bowser's Star Rod messing around. So the Snowman Doll, with when Lava Piranha is on fire, the Snowman Doll will do 6 damage, which is really good.
Mario, you shan't fight alone! Colorado to the rescue! Yeah!
I'm not going to lie, Colorado has been kind of a bumbling fool, but at least he tried here in this fight.
So sorry, old chap, but that's all I can do at the moment. Good luck with all this. What?
I mean, hey, he tried. So even if you have the Lava Piranha extinguished, you still got to deal with that, unfortunately. Thankfully, we have a second Snowman Doll if the Lava Piranha decides to come back from that, as it were. So we are gonna eat the maple syrup because you get it for free in the room before this fight, so why not? I wouldn't waste flower points on Fan Smack or Tidal Wave right now, to be honest. So yeah, let's just do Belly Flop and do 5 damage clean. Could do 6, to be honest, but it's like whatever. Okay, so now we have enough flower points to double dip. Not that it's probably not going to matter very much right now, though. But let's double dip and do... Honestly, I don't even think I need to do double dip. God, I could do it to clear up my inventory somewhat, I guess. Yeah, you know what? Let's use the Snowman Doll and I'll eat the fried shroom. I made the fried shroom for the Yoshi to try and get an item. But we can just give him one of the hot shrooms. Hot shrooms are good, but that item is starting to lose a little bit of its luster. So yeah, let's get fried shroom. Get quite a few coins for that, considering you could cook it with a regular mushroom. That's not bad. So we'll just keep belly flopping on the Lava Piranha. He's down to 13 HP, and thankfully he can't heal. So, man, imagine, I know I equip charge and power bounce, but that's mostly to show you guys a good strategy in another version of Paper Mario that doesn't have a laggy lava piranha. But I'm just gonna use power jump and not able to get the successful command for it, so 5 damage consistently, I guess. God, this is a mess. So, he's down to 3 HP, you know, and I'm gonna go for a flashy finisher. The snowman doll would be flashy if I had my third, but I decided to use it earlier to unclog my items, and I think that was the best thing to do. So let's finish this off. I was thinking about Starstorm, but nah. Let's just do Tidal Wave. Even if I don't get full power, it's still going to be enough to finish off the Lava Piranha and put us out of our misery. This is not the best Lava Piranha fight I could have done, but given the lag, unfortunately, I think it's the best I could have done with the situation. We still get 30 star points though, which is nice. You will be happy to know that that is, as far as this, I've already played through the game entirely. That is the only boss fight that has lag in this version.
Well, that's that then. Now there's nothing between us and some treasure. Hey, let's go, let's go.
So yeah, we get the Star Spirit, and what's interesting is that the chapter isn't going to immediately end after we get the Star Spirit. You will see why. But yeah, I do remember that on the Wii Virtual Console version, the Lava Piranha fight is laggy during some parts. Like, I know whenever I use a snowman doll on the Lava Piranha in the Wii Virtual Console version, it lags when you do that. But I don't remember it lagging during the actual fight. So, sadly, this is one area where the Switch version is inferior to the Wii Virtual Console version and the original. I'm pretty sure if you play this on original N64 hardware, not that I would recommend doing that, but if you happen to still have that stuff, if you played it that way, you're probably going to have a lag-free Lava Piranha fight, as it were. So, that's nice. We also rescued the Star Spirit, Miss Star. I think that's her name, Miss Star. It should be. Her star power is the most expensive one in the game. It costs 3, and you're only going to have 5. For what it does, I don't think it's worth 3 star power, to be honest. So it's her power is called Smooch. We're also gonna re-equip Speed Spin because yeah, we're also gonna unequip Ice Power and Fire Shield. We're not gonna need those badges anytime soon. Let's put Damage Dodge back on, Speed Spin, I Spy, obviously. I think we're going to unequip Refund for a little while, because we're not going to have any boss. Okay, actually, we do have a boss fight in between chapters, but I don't think I'm going to want Refund for that anyway. I guess I'm going to equip Spike Shield, though, because that'll be hilarious. Power Plus, 2 Power Plus, because why not? Power Quake, because it's a good badge. And Power Jump, because, yeah, alright. That'll do us good for this. And swap your party member to Bombette, even if she's not upgraded, because we need her for one specific instance. Alright.
Ah, treasure! No, it's some sort of starfish. What?
That's one way to address a Star Spirit. I guess Colorado is not up to snuff on that legend.
Ah, this won't do. The adventure is never over until the treasure is found. What? What? Ah, yes, of course. Perhaps that horrible fiery monster had it and was hiding it somewhere. Yes, that must be it. I'll just run back and check. It won't be but a second, old boy. What's this trembling, then? Ah, probably nothing. Kids with fireworks, no doubt. Now, after that treasure, old boy.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. Because now the volcano's about to erupt. So, we've got an escape sequence. Paper Mario is channeling some of that Metroid energy right now with all this defeat the final boss, you got to do an escape sequence afterwards gimmick. Which actually doesn't happen in every single Metroid game, and I've played most of them. It doesn't happen in every single Metroid game, but it does tend to happen pretty often, funnily enough. So, can we blow up this wall? Yes, we can, with the help of Bombette. And that's like the only partner you need to use for this situation. I think now that we're coming out of the fire area, we're probably not going to use Sushi much in battle, to be honest. But I think I want to keep her in the party, as it were. So keep climbing the steps. You don't want to stick around because the lava will hurt you.
Ah, I knew it! At last the treasure is right there! So close, can't resist. By the stars, I'll risk my life for that treasure!
Yeah, that ain't happening, old boy. So that's unfortunate. Oh yeah, we have a Peach segment to do, don't we? Huh. Well, we should probably address that. Now that we've taken care of the worst Peach segment, coming up is one of the best. For the most part, because it's fairly easy to do. And that treasure chest is right where we found Sushi, by the way.